let's try this again. I tried this before and my camera shot out, so storage problems. So I cleared out some room. I finished this just around the other time I finished my other book, and I wanted to do a little book report on it. In comics, when we're talking about runs, it usually refers to creators like writer artist runs to refer to a book. Like we'll talk about the Frank Miller run of Daredevil, the Chris Claremont run, Chris Claremont / John Byrne run of the X-Men, that kind of thing. People who like comics, they refer to things like that. Well, today we're going to talk about the Geoff Johns run of The Flash. And the material found in this book is what became the basis for the TV series that later came about 10 years ago, starring Grant Gustin and everybody else. He was Geoff Johns. After this, he made his name on this and later on became the creative I guess you could call it chief creative officer of DC Comics for a while. And basically based on the strength of his writing. This has 3 volumes. It ran for quite a while. He brought the title on track, and the reason why is that he knows these characters pretty well. He grew up with them, and he's pretty good with the characterization. So he built up a life for Wally West and the Twin Cities of Central City and Keystone. It's modeled after Minneapolis, St. Paul, pretty much, with a dash of Pittsburgh thrown in, and he basically reintroduced the Rogues Gallery. The Flash is pretty much a superhero with a pretty clearly defined enemies stable, which is the Rogues Gallery. We're talking Mirror Master, Captain Cold, the Weather Wizard, the Top, the Trickster. I would say the only other superhero that has a more delineated enemies list, Rogues Gallery, would probably be Batman. But that's part and parcel of The Flash. And I just really, really enjoyed it. And of course, a lot of the run was dominated by, I'm trying to find a good example here for you, by Scott Collins' artwork. And Scott Collins has a sort of scratchy cartoonist style, which I like. Ugh. And that really helped to make put the book back up on top. So basically, I was just I picked up a couple soft covers at Newbury Comics that were on sale, and I blew through the 2 of them. Oh man, now I have to get the whole Geoff Johns run. So I got it. So I'm read through this one. I'm currently reading my way through the second. And the third one's going to be, this is Wally West. This is the original Silver Age Flash's nephew, who took over from the Barry Allen Flash, who'd been killed in the Crisis on Infinite Earths back in 1985-86, our time, a few years ago, their time. And he's been working all this time to live up to his uncle's legacy, and he's done pretty much that. But, and of course, in the third volume of Geoff Johns' run, Geoff Johns is going to work his magic touch and bring Barry Allen back to life, the same way he brought Green Lantern, the Silver Age Green Lantern, back to life after that character got crapped on and jerked around for about the better part of a decade. First, they turned him into a villain, then they sacrificed him, and then he became the Spectre, like God's vengeance on Earth. And basically Geoff Johns worked with all of that to bring the character back. Same with Barry Allen here. But Geoff Johns is just a great natural storyteller, and he basically, on his shoulders rested pretty much all of DC Comics' creative output for, I want to say, probably the better part of a decade, from the early teens, from the early 2000s up till probably, let's say probably till 2010 thereabouts, because he reinvigorated the Flash, he reinvigorated Green Lantern. I mean, an epic that, spacefaring epic there that rivals Star Wars. He reinvigorated the Teen Titans. He helped with the New 52 relaunch and wrote a couple of those. He wrote Doomsday. The guy was just pouring out with stories, not to mention the annual crossover events. The guy was just full of ideas, and he makes writing look easy. And he basically created superhero tales without feeling the need to go dark or go edgy with them, because ever since Watchmen, And ever since The Dark Knight Returns, Watchmen from Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons, and Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns in the 80s, superhero comics had to be dark. People of lesser talent, hopped on that bandwagon, and then we got these really dark, dreary superhero stories that took a while to drag ourselves out of. And Geoff Johns is a really good example of mixing modern sensibilities with classic superhero storytelling. So, if you have a chance, pick up a soft cover that has Geoff Johns' name on it for the Flash, or anything really. Anything he writes is pretty decent. But yeah, I'm a superhero junkie, and I'm proud of it. So thank you to Tom McNulty for kind of gently urging me to do this, because I need that little bit of a reminder. But anyway, take care of yourselves and happy reading.